Good morning.
There she is. Let me,
So I have a nice haircut there.
let me fix this a little. Okay.
Plus. Good morning. Good morning. Happy Sunday. Happy fun day. Is that what it is? Sunday fun day. Sorry, senior moment. To get started today, we're going to come to the center parts of our mat with our ankles opened slightly. So that means our toes are angling in. As you bring straightness to the legs, I'd like you to take a little bit of effort to pull them in towards the center line of the body with that inner thigh tip activation. I'd like you to hollow out your belly and begin to elongate through the spinal column and draw your shoulders up earward. Rotate those elbows inwardly and then draw them backwards with the palms widely spread through the fingers, palms facing sky, widely spread to the fingers. There we go. All the instructions. Now, any tension through the neck, I'd like you to avert that by throwing that part of your neck long and then let the right ear kind of descend in towards the right shoulder. Come back straight and then take it to the opposite side and slowly oscillate from side to side. As you manipulate from side to side, I'd like you to squeeze the elbows together. Continue. And then bring it back up center. Rotate the head to the right and take the chin and drop it down towards the right shoulder. Try not to meet the drop of the chin with a rise of the shoulder. Just let it descend down. Come back up straight. Take it over to the opposite side. Slowly lower down. Come back up. Center it out. Shoot those arms out. Nice and long, about shoulder height. Take your thumbs and rotate them externally. And then rotate the palms to face the earth and then lower the thumbs all the way down. Take that booty, draw it backwards. Use the fingers to pull the arms long. Now, brace with those six-pack muscles of yours. And just in case you forgot, I'd like you to also pull your legs in towards the center line. While we keep this, I'd like you to rotate the body to the right, come back center and go left, and oscillate from side to side. We're just warming up, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is like work all of a sudden. All right, come back center, rotate the palms to face. Step those toes outwardly now, so the heels are the innermost points. As we take the arms and reach them forward, I'd like to take your booty and lower it down. Kind of like a sumo squat, and we rise back up. We're going to do this for a few more repetitions, nice and slowly. On the downward part, explore the range. As we rise up the next time, stand tall, salute the sun. Kirsten's asking how the arms are.
Oh.
They're great. As you exhale, relax. Shoulders draw to the ears. Shoulders pull back and palms rotate forward. Elbows pull backward, the arms and squeeze together. Big inhale, powerful exhale. Booty to the ground, towards the ground that is. Rise back up. Up and down for a few more repetitions.
Oh, our feet are in. Sorry, I was doing it wrong.
No, anyways, fine. As you lower down, try not to let the elbows swing forward. Try to keep them back. Chest nice and proud and belly's engaged. Come down one more time. Hold down. Shoot the arms out. Raise them to the sky. Hold down and invert that body there. Just let the spinal column lengthen and the head just kind of dangle. Take the ball of each big toe, push it into the mat and bring some more straightness to the leg. Draw your hips backwards and fingers. Let them do the walking. Forward, of course. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, extend. Exhale, flex and extend. Do that for a few more repetitions with your breath. Breathing in as you raise and exhaling as you lower.
hold that spinal extension, draw those hips backwards. Now, like chopsticks, try to bring the legs together, so squeeze, extend the spine, draw the hips backwards. Got a little bit of trembling going on, that's okay. On your next release of breath, hold it all down, let it all relax. Pilates style now, up we come.
Stacking vertebrae upon vertebrae, and let those arms sweep up and salute the sun. Good morning again. As you inhale, use the fingers to pull everything upward. And as you exhale, relax everything. Take your hands to hips and take the right hip and begin to move it to the right side. And then translate straight across the left side. Try to keep the legs nice and straight for the time being. Now put a little bend in each knee as your hip moves to that side. Your feet are flat to the earth, and then we're going to begin to circle to the right, left, and around. You let your knees kind of do whatever they need to do to make those circles as wide as possible. And when you come back to center, reverse the movements. All righty. Now hold it in the back position, which means you're leaning slightly into this. Hands are still on the hips. I'm going to go punch you in the stomach. I want you to engage those muscles nice and strong and proud out the chest. Squeeze the elbows together in the back. Keep that neck growing long. Take the heels and try to create isometric activation by rotating them away from the center line, holding on this as you now sweep the arms forward, palms turned to face. Inhale, raise, exhale, lower. As we go through the lower and upper positions, the hands are rotating. Palms are rotating outwards as you sweep backwards and come to face as you come forward. Let's do this for a few more repetitions. Keep that external rotation in those heels of yours. Yeah, I got piriformis, those muscles that help to guide the leg as they move through a forward plane, holding them strong, engaging, getting a lot of blood flow into them. On the next rep, hold up, stand up, salute the sun. Take a big inhale as you exhale, let the hands descend over heart. Take the right foot step forward. Keep the left foot separated nicely, so hip width apart, but front to back, you've got a nice stance where you can be up on the toes of that back foot. Now, that heel aiming skyward, check it out. If it's rotating inward or outward, skyward is where you want it. Take that upper body of yours and lean it in. Now, as we lean, we load. So you figure out what's best for your body today. Chest is proud. Now, back heel, drive it to the earth and come back up under the toes. And do that pistoning of that back foot for a few more repetitions. In the front foot, see if you can kind of make the pronouncement of push in the ball of the big toe. All right, on the next rep, hold up on those tippy toes of that back foot, extend the arms outward. Raise them to salute the sun. As you exhale, much like we practice standing up, they rotate externally on the backward and to face on the forward. And do this for a couple more reps. On the next rep, hold up shoulder height. Take your thumbs, rotate them internally and down, and begin to rotate right to center. And do that for a couple repetitions more. When you come back center, hands come over heart, back foot steps forward. You can shake out that leg if you need to. And if you're not shaking it, you're stepping it backwards. As we begin this, we have the upper body leaning in, loading what's body appropriate today. As we find that experience, we're going to begin to piston that right heel up and down, slowly. Movement with tension is very important. So we're not dropping or exploding. We're tense through the whole movement. On the next repetition, hold up, tippy toes, arms, extend out. Raise and lower and rotate. And up and down for a few repetitions. Hope everyone's doing well today. I'm enjoying being here with you on Daddy Day. On the next repetition, hold up shoulder height. Take the body and take the arms and rotate the thumbs down, and then rotate left and back to center. And do it for a few repetitions. Maintain that nice balance. Coming back center, hands come back over heart, back foot steps forward, shake it if it was bacon. And now, feet come hip width apart. Let's take the toes, let's step the heels out to the sides of the mat with toes angling outwards. As we hold on this for a second, I'm going to set up the upper body before we start to work the lower body. I want you to engage, almost like you're taking your pubis and pulling it in, and then making the chest nice and proud. Keeping the hands over heart now. Tall body, lowers down. As we make the movement up and down, little nuances. As we go up, I'd like you to try to slide your heels outward. They're not physically doing that, they're just creating that activation in the posterior chain. So try to slide heels as you rise, and push the ball of each big toe into the ground as you lower. And do that for a few repetitions. You might notice a subtle difference in the posterior chain activation with that heel slide. Enjoy it. All right, and the next repetition is you stand tall, feet step forward. They're about mat width apart. Get them if they're not. Take the arms, salute the sun, straighten through those legs. And the next breath, as you release it, take that left hand down onto the hip. Take the right arm, bring it close to that right ear as possible. Let the left ear descend to the left shoulder. Follow the arm towards the head. Take the hip and push it to the side. Pull along with the fingers, that right arm. On the next breath, bring it straight, switch up sides. Right ear lowers to right shoulder. Left arm sweeps to left ear. Left hip pushes out. And back center. Both arms lower. Now, hands to hips. Elbows squeeze, chest proud. Booty pulls back. Keep the legs straight. Chest is still proud. Elbows squeeze together. Engage the six pack. It's almost like you're rocking the pelvic girdle. I like you kind of pull it in. And as we take the pubis and pull it upward towards the belly button, I'd like you to keep that engagement as you begin to fold forward. Let the spine flex and enjoy that nice stretch to the low back. Hammies, feeling a little bit of a pull. Those gluteals are nice and lengthened. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. As you exhale, fold down, hands to earth, and step back into plank. Bring the feet together and the thighs. As you squeeze the thighs together, much like we practiced when we were standing, take the pubis and pull it in towards the belly button. There can be a little flexion through the spine. In fact, I like a little flexion if you can achieve it. Now keep this as you pull upward and backward to down dog. And then float it back to plank. And do that for a few more repetitions.
As you float forward, imagine there's a string in the center part of the spine, lifting and giving you a little more flexion. All right, coming forward, lowering down onto both knees that are still touching. Pull the hips backwards towards the heels. Toes are still tucked under. Feel that nice stretch. Lower leg and also bottom of foot. Take the right hand, open it to the sky. Return it back to earth and do the same thing on the left side. And alternate side to side. As you walk your hands back, come up to a kneeling position, squeeze the legs together. As you initiate, maintain the squeeze, bring hands over heart. Now, through the hips, I'd like you to lean forward. So we're basically chopping a little bit without toppling. So it's a chop without top. All right. I'm a poet, didn't know, but I did. All right, with hands over heart, we have a proud chest. I'd like you to hollow out that belly and give me that pubic activation where you're kind of pulling up from the base of that pelvic girdle. As you hold that, there's a little flexion in the spinal column. Take the hands, extend them forward. Now, spinal extension as arms raised. Extend and raise up. Exhale, arms come down, shoulder height. Let the spine flex. Inhale, raise and extend. Exhale, lower, flex. Do this for a few more repetitions. Hold it in the up position. Lower those hips towards the heels. Reach long with those hands that the fingers do the pulling. Chest is nice and proud. Big inhale, powerful release, and fold it down and step those legs out. Butt hip width apart as we come into all fours or onto all fours. Take the elbows and rotate them internally. Make that neck nice and long. Oh, what the heck? Let's draw that chin up and in towards the neck. And let the chest kind of descend in between the arms. Elbows spiral inward. We maintain that spiral as we bring flexion to the spine and tuck that pubis under and up towards the belly button. It's a nice cat-like position we're in. Take the palms, push them into the earth. Elbows rotate a little more. Spine, if you can give me a little more flexion and a little more hollow through that belly, try it. Relax that neck now. Reverse this. Tailbone, back of the head, pulling to the sky. The belly wants to fall out, but I'd like you to engage and try to pull it up so you can feel a little tautness. Rib cage, maybe through the pubis. Keep that now as we reverse back to our cat. Belly hollowing. Spine flexing. Palms pushing. Elbows rotating internally. And reversing this. Chin pulling up and in towards the neck. Keep that neck nice and long. Let that chest drop in between the arms. Keep those elbows spiraling inward. Now, little progression. Make sure your toes are tucked and float the knees. And lower down. Now extend the feet so you're now on the tops. And float the knees. And lower down. Step the toes in, float it up, and now you have a pattern that you can follow for the next couple breaths. On the next toe tuck in, float the knees, lift the hips, drive the heels as you pull those hips upward and backward to down dog. See if you can straighten through the knees ever so slightly more. See if you can grow that neck of yours ever so slightly more. See if you can pull those hips of yours ever so slightly higher. And let the hands walk back to the feet. Find an equilibrium front to back. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Pilates style. Tuck the pelvic girdle, stack the spinal column, salute the sun. And as you exhale, take it down to the mat.
Stretch time?
What?
Stretch time.
Stretch time?
Yeah, it's Father's Day, we have to stretch.
I have to stretch for Father's Day?
Yeah.
That's a stretch. Cheers to everyone. That's the segue that allows me to get a little bit to drink. I'm overclamped, choked up. All right, on our backs, we're going to lie all the way down. Oh, and we are not stretching. We are extending both ways. And I know you could say, yeah, that's kind of a stretch, but we're not really. What we're going to do is keep the arms about shoulder width apart with the palms facing. And you're going to take your right leg and we'll lift it up and into the air with toes pointing at about a 45-degree angle. And then lower down and switch for the left. Now, as we go through a little bit of rotation through the hip, this flexion and extension. We're not exhibiting right now full extension. Sorry, full flexion or full extension, of course. We can only go a certain amount. Now we're going to take the full extension, sorry, flexion, if I can get my
Oh,
names
goodness.
right. I know.
Confused.
What is going on? Flexing.
How
That's
are
when
those arms?
arms are great. Aren't your arms great? And as we do this full flexion, I'd like you to kind of notice what's going on in the lower back, if it's possible. If you can feel the skin of the low back kind of making a connection, you can move your arms wherever you want. And the reason why that's important is we do have spinal articulation. Now, as we come up with the left leg, let's hold up and see if we can kind of like pull the pubis area in towards that belly button and maybe flatten out that low back, which is more lumbar extension. So we're going to keep that lumbar extension and bring the hands up towards the feet. And then drop your chin into your chest and peel each vertebrae of the upper spine off until you get to the middle part of the back, which is basically a crunch. And then lower back down. And then lower the left leg, extend the arms all the way back. Bring that right leg up, sweep the hands up, and Pilates style, reach up and try to touch your toes, and then switch sides. So we're just going to walk this out for a number of repetitions. Enjoy the journey. You may feel muscles starting to burn. And that's okay. The burn is just simplifying use, and that use is what brings you strength. Break if you need, but continue if you can. Couple more repetitions. And then let legs extend one way, arms extend the other. Separate the feet a little wider than hip width apart and bring flexion to the feet. Bring those hands back over the chest and Pilates style come up. Keep the flexion in the spine, hollowing out through the belly as the fingers find their position through the feet, beyond if you can get there. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Exhale, flex it down, hollow out the belly, and Pilates style, take it back down. A lot of work for our rectus abdominis today. Pilates style back up. And back down. And back up. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Keep the back in extension. Walk the hands back into staff pose. As the feet separate a little wider apart, rotate the shoulder carriage right to be square to that right leg. And let your fingers do the walking. Spine long to start. And then when you hit that impasse, let the spine flex. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Walk it back in. Orient it for the opposite leg and walk it out. Spine long until it doesn't go down anymore, and then spine flexes. Inhale, extend. Walk it back in. Opposite side. We're going to do this for a couple more repetitions. Each side, of course. And then when you're ready, come up to seated position with legs spread wider. And through the center part now, walk out the hands. See if we can kind of go with this. Play with it a little bit, up, down, and kind of experiment. Some of us have a lot of mobility inwardly on these hips of ours. And if you can get forearms down, they don't go down, don't worry about it. But just see what you can get a little bit of those inner thigh muscles lengthening out. But more importantly, they're kind of like pulling. You show a little tension in those muscles. As you inhale, extend to a flat back. While we keep the legs apart, I'd like you to bring the spinal column nice and long. There's a slight forward lean as we raise the arm shoulder height. You're going to sweep it out directly to the side, and then we're going to rotate the spinal column ever so slightly. And then come back, and then lower, and raise opposite side and open. Very important here, not to be flexing through the spine, but to be extending through the spine while we effect a little bit of rotation. Spine and extension, always key. Couple more repetitions. When you're ready, let's walk those hands back. Bring those legs together. Bend through the knees, hands onto the kneecaps, and then slowly, panda style, take it down. I said panda on purpose. Oh, spinal column nice and long. All points of the spinal column should be relatively fixed to the earth. We're going to simply rock in and out with the knees. A little bit of movement more for the hips and the lower spinal column. Working more extension in the lumbar spine right now. It's really the structural component that really takes the brunt of all of the sitting that we do. 5 bones that really, form the structure that allow us to stand. Now, calm that rock forward to back. Keep the knees pulled in and begin to open them out. And then as you work to bring them back together, we're going to do a push-pull type of thing. So the palms right now are on the outsides of the knees. As you work to push them together, resist the push with the legs. And this is really called a PNF stretch, proprioceptive neuromuscular facilitation.
Wow.
Wow, that's what it stands for. Say that 5 times fast.
No.
Can't even say it 1 time slow.
So it's resisting out and in, you're pushing with one, you're kind of getting a little bit of a chest workout. I want you to make sure that you're not rotating internally with those shoulders. You kind of button those shoulder blades to the earth. There's no tension in that neck. Couple more repetitions. And then with the legs together, hold them together, pull them into the chest, bring them forward up to meet, and rock and roll front to back, come up into a seated position. I'm going to grab a little more water. I welcome you to the same. Cheers.
Cheers.
We're not done. As we bring our right foot into left leg, we're going to find a little bit of rotation effort here. So I'd like you to take that right knee without the assistance of anything, and then basically try to roll it down towards the earth. It may not go there, but it's fine. It's just more or less that effort to engage and rotate. I just want you to have that little bit of external rotation effort. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to take our right hand onto that right knee, and we're going to basically come forward, reaching the left hand to left heel. The shoulder carriage is going to have a little bit of rotation. And as we rotate, spinal extension. So spinal extension first, rotation second. You should feel a nice little pull just above the hip. That's one of your obliques, getting a nice little move. Oh yeah, come back up and switch up sides. Find that nice rotation earthward. Spinal column remaining long. Left hand helping to facilitate a little more opening. And walk it out, right hand. And open that left shoulder to the sky. Again, always careful with spinal extension when we create the rotation. Feel that nice little release. Come back center. Both legs extend all the way out. I'm going to reposition myself on the mat so I can have my feet on the edges and relatively straight legs. I'm going to lower all the way down to set up another important exercise. The heels pull in ever so slightly. A lot of times this exercise is perceived as the ability to lift your butt off the earth. Well, it's more important to not really be able to do that, but more to activate our internal rotators. So to work on that specifically today, please listen to the cueing. And that's basically going to take your feet and bring as much flexion with the muscle you have. Now, the distance of the heels away is enough where the angle in the knee is obtuse. It's greater than 90 degrees. And as big of an angle as you can get, the better it is. You're going to take your pelvic girdle and kind of rock it down. So that's basically the pubis pulling up and in. That's your belly hollowing out. While you keep the flexion in the feet, rotate the legs to touch or inwardly. We may or may not be able to do that, but if you can, get that touch. And when you get it, check back in with those feet of yours. If they kind of extended out a little bit, I like you to bring the flexion to the feet. You're going to notice how the muscles in the inner thighs engage differently when those feet flex. And those internal rotators are very important for stability. And they get beaten up when we sit for long periods of time. So we're really exercising them right now. And if you feel a little bit of trembling, just doing this, perfect. And if you don't, try to flex the feet a little bit more and try to squeeze those legs together a little bit more. Just keep that upper body calm and just take another breath or two and then relax. Keep the legs, the bend in the knees, but let the legs kind of splay open. So now we're lengthening those muscles and now we're going to contract them again as we bring that rotation back to the legs. Focus on the flexion of the feet and keep the feet flexing as you squeeze the thighs together. Give me a bigger squeeze. Give me more flexion in the feet. Hold. And then relax and open.
We're going to progress this now as we bring the arms down beside the body with cupped fingers, so the fingertips are the touch points of the hand. Going to make the chest nice and proud as we rotate internally those legs of ours. Give me the feet flexion first. Give me the squeeze of the thighs second, but don't lose those feet. Flexing, sorry. Now take the fingertips, push them to the earth. And while you work to flex, squeeze legs, try to create a lift now. And that should really amplify the activation in those medial muscles. Maybe in the gluteals, you got it going on. Enjoy it for a couple of breaths. And then relax everything, let it open up, let those arms relax. And just one more time, we're going to go back at it. Such an important exercise as we come back. You know the drill, right? Flex, squeeze, fingertips, push, chest proud. Flex those feet more and try to push through the heels and lift that booty up off the earth. Hold for the breath. Don't tense the neck. 3, 2, relax. And extend the legs all the way out and bring arms above head. Oh, I felt it. Did you feel it? All right, arms sweep back up. Chin tuck, sorry, and we flex the spine all the way back up to extend all the way out. Inhale, extend the spine. As we come into a staff-like pose, it's only to transition from that to bringing that left leg running parallel, left thigh running parallel to the mat. And that 90-degree bend in that knee. And as we sweep back the right leg, we're going to have an opportunity to come down onto the forearm, or if you have the flexibility in the hip or strength in the hip to maintain the upper body nice and tall, please be there. Let's take that right arm, reach it out to the side, and then bring that right arm up over towards the ear. If you collapse into that left shoulder, push strong and grow long the spine. And then relax that. Now, let's begin to walk this. You can use the upper body arms to help this, but slowly transition front to back. Try to use less arms on this last repetition. Oh, it's almost impossible for me. All right, now that we've got that, we're going to switch up sides. Another smooth transition in Sean's class. Finding that right type of alignment. Oh, yeah. Now,
Arm out to the side.
yeah. Right arm, spinal column's right. The whole thing's got to be nice and long. You could do this on your forearm if you're not really feeling it today. Grow, 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 grow. And lower. And walk. You'll notice when I walk, if you can emulate kind of that full rotation all the way through, you're going to feel a little more in the hip. There's a little muscle in there called the piriformis that might feel that nice little stretch when you go and make that rotation as complete as you can. This is really a modification of pigeon pose. Now on the last repetition, see if you can do it without arms. Oh, not really. Okay, take the legs, sweep them forward. Beautiful. We're going to bring the body down onto the mat with the feet stepping in towards the hips. We're going to take the right leg and wrap it over that left leg. Now, hollow out the belly. See if you can kind of pull the pubis up and get that low back skin touching the mat. And while you keep that activation, that's your six pack, by the way. You probably feel more active. You're going to take the left leg and pull the right leg towards the left side.
The opposite.
That's the opposite of what we normally do. That's right. Now, while you have the left leg pulling the right, I'd like you to take the right leg and try to pull it back to center, but we're not moving it. We just have both sides kind of working. Take the right hand, reach it directly back. Pull, pull, pull long, and then clock it. So basically move that right arm downward. I guess it's counterclock. All the way down to the hip, and then sweep it all the way back up. I got a plant in the way, so I can't really demonstrate this. And then once you come back with the arm back to the ground, take the right leg and pull the left leg to our normal stretch. We're going to float the knees as we bring the left hand back. Extend that arm long. Now, my left shoulder is off the earth. I'm going to try to rotate it towards the earth as the arm extends nice and long. And much the same way as we're operating the right arm as the clock hand, here we go with the left. Down to the 6 o'clock, back up to the 12 o'clock. And as we get it back down to the 6 o'clock, let's roll onto our backs and switch out sides. Right leg pulls the left leg towards the right side. Left leg tries to pull the right leg back up. As we keep that tension, extend the left hand backwards. Work the arms of the clock. 6, 12, back to 6. And now we take the left leg with resistance from the right and begin to pull it towards the earth. Coming up off that right shoulder, extend the right hand upward and backward. As that arm reaches back, take the right shoulder and give me your best effort to rotate it towards the earth. Take the clock arm and sweep it down to 6. And then sweep it back up to 12. And return it back to 6. And right up the body and extend the legs all the way out. As they extend outward, make sure the legs are nice and straight. Bring flexion back to the foot or feet and rotate the toes into touch. Drive the heels away from the body. Excuse me. Keep the feet flexing, heels driving, legs straight. Inwardly rotating with the toes. Feel a nice stretch in the hips a little bit. And then let the feet relax. Take the arms over the chest. Drop that chin into the chest and Pilates style. Slowly come up and enjoy a nice stretch as you lengthen through with spinal flexion. Good stuff. As you inhale, extend to a flat back and use your hands to walk it backwards. How we doing? Let's grab a little water. One more stretch and we're all done for the day, believe it or not. Because that time just like went by like nobody's business.
Your 1 minute, yeah.
My 1 minute's gonna be up. All right, we're gonna bring our feet, the bottoms of them, sorry, together. And as we kind of find that little boat, I'd like you to find your ischium or sit bones and nice, tall, long spinal column. I'm going to use my hands. You can shins, whatever you can get to. Most important, I'd like you to proud through the chest and grow through the spinal column and rotate those legs earthward and feel a nice pull through the muscles of the back as you pull on the shins, ankles, whatever you got a hold of. Nice and proud, and then flex the spinal column forward. Walk the hands forward. Inhale, extend to a flat back. Extend the legs all the way out. And as you bring hands over heart, let me say, thank you for joining me today. Namaste.
Namaste. Good job, honey.
Thank you.
Good job.
Check that box.
Okay. There she is.